Hello everybody, today is July 7th, 2024. I have, this might end up being a long video. I have 16 names I want to cover. There's a lot of pretty cool setups and maybe opportunities, who knows. Anyways, I am a day trader. I am a swing trader as well. I've been swinging more than day trading. But anyways, I base my decisions on the one-day chart, and my entries are based on shorter time frames, where if it's the 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, and so on. Anyways, this is not financial advice. Make your own research, and just be careful when you allocate your money. And that's all I have to say. Just make your own decisions. This is for educational purposes, and if you see any utility on this or you think this is helpful, please leave a like and a subscription. Would be absolutely appreciated. Anyways, let's start. So I have AI right here. I really like the setup. I think that MACD and the TSI are in pretty good shape. The RSI actually looks good. We have a pretty nice candle right here that we had on Friday with volume that looks like it's increasing compared to what we had other days. So we had over almost 5 million shares on this one, and then we can actually see the momentum. We had a rebound on the EMA, 200 EMA and the 35 SMA. So this is indicating that we probably have a continuation here. We do have low liquidity in this area as well, so I really like this setup. And I think I'm not sure what is the price of options here, but anyways, if you're buying options or stocks, I think this is a good opportunity. So I'm gonna do this a little bit faster than what I normally do, since I have 16 names I want to cover. AMD, this has a beautiful setup. I think I mentioned AMD back on Thursday or of Friday. Yeah, it was somewhere around here. So I did actually have an entry on AMD last week or the week prior, and I actually am out of this one, which was me just like I was over 98% or something. So I normally like to get out if I am over 50% or whatnot, or if I see there is lack of momentum, I just get out. But definitely the setup that we are seeing here is pretty spectacular. I really like what I'm seeing. I wouldn't be surprised that we get to 180 in the next few days. Keep in mind also that this week we have a pretty packed week with indications or meetings and whatnot. CPI is coming also next week, PPI, and so just be careful. We might have some catalysts that could change the trajectory of some of these moves. But in reality, I think that the numbers are going to come either in line or a little bit cold. So we'll see. Anyways, AMD is looking great. You have this support level at 61.31 or 161.31 or 161. Just keep that number. And you can also use the 35 SMA as another way of handling your support levels. And then you have this resistance level at 180, which I think we're going to reach within the next few days. So there's definitely an opportunity on AMD. Amazon, I think Amazon might end up running this week. I was talking about Amazon back here. Well, I was talking about Amazon back on this double top, and I was like, this is a good opportunity to go short. And it did work out. And then, which I did take some, I bought some puts on this area somewhere here, and then I end up buying calls right over here when I saw this momentum and when I saw these moves on the TSI and the MACD. Anyways, now we're here. I think Amazon has something. I really like the setup that we see on Amazon, and we will probably break this level right here, which is pretty much 200. We mount here, and we're just gonna keep going up. So I really like Amazon. I think there's opportunity here. I might actually buy it next week. So yeah, keep an eye on this resistance turning into support, but also keep an eye on the entire move that right here. But I really like how it got consolidated right here, and now it's gonna probably keep moving up. CAVA, I mentioned CAVA back here, and I had a tendency, I actually bought puts, and I got wrecked. somewhere around here. And I thought this was going to continue going towards this support level and going down, but now we have this very nice setup. The MACD and the TSI are cooling down, which is a good sign. There is definitely an opportunity to mount this 95.80 level and continue a little bit higher. So I really like this right here. There is definitely an opportunity, so keep an eye on this name. And yeah, I guess, you know, this is a perfect example as of why you shouldn't blindly take action on investments or entries based upon a guy that is telling you shit on X or on YouTube. I was really thinking this was gonna keep going down, considering how extended this was, but it didn't play out that way. Now these things are the MACD and the TSI are cooling down, and we are at this very nice level. So there might be an opportunity here. I'll show you TTD later on the video, and it has a pretty similar setup, and it's actually working out. DELL, I did call DELL within the, I guess in the last 2 weeks or so. Where's DELL? A couple of things that I like about DELL was this move right here. I actually bought some calls in this one of these 2 days, I don't remember, and then I got out like 1 or 2 days later. I'm pretty paranoid on how I trade, so I saw the move and then I was out within a couple of days. So this actually played out on my favor pretty well. But what I like here is that it's consolidating. You still have very low volume or liquidity in this area. That is great. I think it would be prudent just to wait a few more days, unless tomorrow you have a raging day. But the volume is pretty high for DELL, so there is definitely a lot of eyes on DELL right now. I love seeing the neutrality on the MACD and the TSI. The RSI also looks pretty neutral in my opinion, so we definitely have room here for a little bit of a consolidation and ripping this thing. But just be mindful on your decisions here. You also have the support level at 131. That is also very important. This trend line could be broken, and so anyways, just be mindful. I would wait a couple of more days, somewhere in the middle of next week, and just play it safe. That's what I would do, but I like the setup. Another name that I was keeping an eye on, and I didn't mention this on X or anything, is Intel. This is not a stock that I trade very often. Let's see how liquid this is. Okay, it's not bad. It trades, yeah, there was this is plenty of volume right here actually. So one thing that I was looking at is this range that we had here pretty much since May. Now we're in July, and it's breaking this resistance level that actually took a lot of effort, I guess, for this name to break, which is the 3150. Now I think that we can get to this level 3250 again and see if we can break it. It did fail before, so it can fail again, but I think we have a pretty good opportunity here. I like what I'm seeing, and I don't know if I'm gonna get in or not next week, but definitely you have very little volume over here. I really like this. Let me put, where is this? Do I use this one? Yeah, rectangle. The microphone is on the way, so I can actually see my screen very well. You have this gap here that has no volume. I would consider this a resistance. Obviously, this is a resistance line at 3250, but also keep an eye on the 35 SMA. Is an indicator that, at least on my eyes, is pretty helpful, especially when you're dealing on the 1 day chart. Anyways, I like Intel. Keep an eye on this. Next, I have, just keep an eye. So Bitcoin is at 55 right now at the time of this video. I don't know how it's gonna be overnight or whatnot, but Mara, we have this. I did call Mara on this day, which was Thursday 27th and of last month. So the end of last month, I did get some calls. I got out on this candle, somewhere on this candle, not on the top, somewhere in the middle of this candle I got out. And the reason why I got out was because I started seeing a little bit of weakness on Bitcoin and other miners and whatnot. So I decided just to get out, considering that we also have this pretty stubborn resistance level right here at 22.7. So what can we expect here? Well, we are now here at this support 1940. Are we gonna rebound here and go back to 22? Well, the thing is, MARA is very susceptible to what Bitcoin does, and if we go to Bitcoin is not doing very well. So, and I did put a bunch of information about why Bitcoin is going down and why was the sell-off, and so there's an extra liquidity on Bitcoin due to some sales in Germany and whatnot. So if you're curious about it, go take a look at my profile on X is somewhere. AMD, I did put I did put on July the 4th. This is some information about Bitcoin. Anyways, so I think MARA, I like trading MARA because it's very volatile and very wild. But right now I would be cautious with how I proceed. This could totally break if Bitcoin is still going down. But I don't know, let's keep an eye on this. I think this level right here, 1940, is important. 1680s also very important, excuse me. And I really, it would be a little bit, I guess, irresponsible on my end to think that this is actually going to bounce within the next few days. I tend to be a little more bearish on this name right now. Another one, I fucking hate this company, but if you can make some money out of it, well, why not? Moderna. I like what I'm seeing on the MACD, TSI, RSI. I think now is actually bouncing on the 200 EMA. I like that as well. I think that we can start moving up again. There is a decent liquidity here, so it might be choppy, but I think now we're starting to get a little bit more bullish volume. Keep an eye on this tomorrow. Keep an eye on this for the rest of the week. Earnings are not coming until August, first day of August, so you still have time. That I don't think there's going to be much of a catalyst that would change that trajectory. Give it a couple of days and come back to this name until you see a better look on how this price is reacting on the 200 EMA. And also keep an eye on the TSI. I like to trade with the TSI in combination with the MACD, so that's what I do. I just keep an eye on these two indicators, and then in addition to the RSI, and then I make decisions. So there might be something going on here. I like what I'm seeing in Moderna. Netflix, I think we're going to 700, and I think I mentioned that, if I could find it, a while ago. Somewhere here I was talking about Netflix on this pattern right here. No, actually, never mind, because I found the same behavior on Meta, Microsoft, and Netflix. So I was talking about Netflix somewhere around here, so probably on the beginning of May. And look at this fucking run. It was beautiful. I didn't get onto this because I was on Microsoft and Meta. And if you want to take a look at what was going on during those days, you can go back to Meta. And I was talking about Meta right over here, which was in the beginning of May as well. So you can see the TSI and the MACD, how they were behaving after this divergence right here, and then we're moving up. And then if we take a look at Microsoft, which I took some calls on Microsoft in this area, look at this. So these three names were behaving very similar as far as the MACD and the TSI. And now we are over the zero lines and whatnot. Normally I don't like to trade on those areas. I like to trade these kind of moves right here. But what I'm seeing here is that there's still momentum. You have this trend line right here, just like that. The first one, the second one, and this third one, we might have a move towards 700. I do believe that we can easily get to that level. Now we're at 690 right now, which is where we're seeing, but I do believe that there might be a continuation right here, and I just like how this looks. Seriously, there might be there's so many opportunities. I don't even know what I want to buy, but I'm gonna mention some of the names that I have calls on. Anyways, I love Netflix right now. This looks pretty neutral. The MACD and the TSI, the RSI is getting close to the 70 level, but that's still fine, I guess. In this case, earnings are not coming until until July 18th. So you still have some days. I think this could continue running. Just keep an eye on this resistance level, 690, and then you can get to 700 easily within the next few days. I really like Netflix. Now, Nike. I mentioned Nike somewhere around here, and I was talking about like, well, if we break this level right here, it's gonna keep going up, but then earnings came and it was a complete fucking disaster. So we're here. What I like is this thing right here. Just like what you saw on so many other names that had a complete disaster, just like Shopify, Roblox. Let's keep an eye on this. Roblox, for example. Same thing happened here, and now we're going back up. So Shopify, a very similar situation. It went down, now we're going up. So this is one of the things that I like on Nike. I think that this name is still needs some time to come back, but probably within the earnings are not until, earnings are gone until September. So now we have time to actually keep an eye on this. I wouldn't buy Nike right now unless you're a trader or an investor that wants to keep this name for a while. That's fine. But if you're swinging or day trading, well, if I was a day trader, if I was gonna day trade, I wouldn't touch this name. But if you're gonna swing, I would wait a few more days, maybe a week or so, to see how the MACD and the TSI are gonna behave. The RSI is very oversold. This is gonna come back at some point. At the end of the day, it's just like the other names that I mentioned. So we're seeing this. I really like this. I really like this. If it keeps going down, I'm gonna like it more. And so I'm gonna give it a few more days. But again, the setup, I'm calling it right now. The setup is gonna be pretty nice. So if you get some September calls or maybe October calls at some point next week or so, or the following week, that'll be fantastic. I really like Nike. I'm just letting you know. Talking about the type of setup, the same fucking thing happened here, right? A disaster. NTNX went down. Then we had this support level right here. It got into range for a couple of weeks, which I was talking about this setup just because of this whole thing right here, the MACD and the TSI. I was talking about this a few weeks back. And again, you can see the similarities on this. Eventually, these dramatic moves come back to a certain point. I'm not saying that they're going to recuperate or go all the way back up, but I really like what I'm seeing. So this name still has a lot of room here. We have this gap right here. It has very low liquidity at some point at 66 and some change, which we can also argue that this could be another level right here, and which coincides with this lack of liquidity here. So we do have a lot of room here. What I would love to see here is either some chop right here or just this thing slowing down a little bit and then go back up. So I was calling this name somewhere in this area right here, and then it started playing out. Another thing that was beautiful about this was that it was bouncing on the 200 on the EMA, 200 EMA. This is beautiful right here. So now it's mounting the 35 SMA, and now it has to mount this level. I think this still has a lot of fucking room. Keep an eye on TNX. NTNX. Beautiful. So another name, PLTR. There's so many things going on. We have this resistance level right here. I've seen this chart in X. A lot of people are talking about this specific setup. I like it a lot. I think there's a lot of room. I think we can see 30 on PLTR pretty soon. Options are not that expensive. I think if it cools down a little bit, it would be even better. So that way you see these indicators slowing down a little bit and catching up a little bit. But I still like it. The RSI is at 70 right now. So we might see a little bit of red tomorrow or within the next few days, but that doesn't mean that this actually has potential to go to 30. I think that 30 is something that that is gonna, yeah, at least 29.20 on this area right here. That'd be fantastic. So I really like Palantir right now. I was also talking about Palantir somewhere in this area. There was a gap. Where's the gap? There was a gap right here, which it got covered. So I was even talking with this guy on X, and he was asking me, when do you think it's gonna get to 24? And we were on this area on one of these days, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna get to 24. There's no liquidity there. So we went there. It actually got a little bit choppy, but then it went up. We're continuing going up. I actually like Palantir. September calls will make a lot of sense. You have earnings on the beginning of August, in a month from now, so you're good. I like Palantir. PayPal, look at this. So I like the MACD and the TSI. We gotta break this level right here of 60.20, and after that we can talk. This can actually have a rejection here and continue going down. I mean, Palantir has had a pretty difficult trading look, for lack of a better term, but I actually like what I'm seeing down here. But I want to be a little bit more patient, and I just want to wait. There is low liquidity here, so you can actually go from 60 to 63 or 65 easily, then, you know, and then you can continue to 67. But for now, just keep an eye on PayPal. It's looking like it wants to move, but if it doesn't break this level right here, 60.28 or 60.20, you know, then you can totally disregard. Anyways, Shopify. I do have calls on Shopify. I bought calls down here. I was talking about Shopify here because of the same reasons as Nike and Starbucks back in these days and whatnot. So I did like Shopify, and I bought calls right here that were mid-July calls. I sold somewhere around here, and then I day trade this area right here, and then I bought more, then I sold, and then I'm back again now that we mounted the 35 SMA. I think we're going to continue going up. My calls are for September, so we're good. Earnings are at the end of the month, so we still have time. There's low liquidity here, so I really like how this is moving. I like what I'm seeing on Shopify, and I obviously like this setup. Now, one of the things that I even tell myself quite often is like, well, why am I selling so early if I know that this is going to work out? It's because my rule is 50% and get the fuck out. And to be honest, I'm a little bit hesitant to change that rule and be, you know, a little more aggressive. And so sometimes it works. They just keep going up, but normally I get out, and then if I see that the momentum continues, then I buy more, and then I sell. I kind of do that. But anyways, that's that. I have Square or Block. Back in the day, I guess it was Square SQ. This looks great. I really like the fact that in this area the MACD was flat, and then it started moving up at the same time as the TSI, and then we are at resistance at 65. What is it? 65.70. I really like this. Let's mount this level, and then you can think about the 35 SMA and the 200 EMA. Those could be your next resistance level, but I like it. I actually like it. Again, I was talking about this name somewhere around down here, so and I like how it's moving. You know, options are not that expensive. The volume is going up a little bit, but I really like it. I like what I'm seeing here. It's kind of like similar to what I just mentioned at the beginning of the video with Intel. So, but give it some time. This is not moving very aggressively either, so give it some time and see, and then it's easier to make a decision if you take your time on this. Then what else? This is my last name, and we have been running for how long? I don't even know where. 25 minutes almost. Crazy. Anyways, sorry. TTD, the trade desk. Very similar to CAVA. Let's go back to CAVA, and you're gonna see same shit, right? I did buy calls on Monday, I believe, and now we're here. So they're paying, they're printing. I'm leaving them for now. They look good. I like what I'm seeing here. This is still flat, so I see there is some momentum. I'm probably gonna sell by Wednesday. So I might sell tomorrow, I might sell Tuesday, but I'm definitely probably gonna sell my calls by Wednesday, unless this actually gives me indication that it's gonna continue going up with more momentum. There is no earnings until next month. I think this setup is pretty nice right here. I'm assuming this is gonna continue going up. As you know, in trading nothing is for sure, but I really like the setup that we're seeing right here. So that's all I have for today. This is the first time I cover so many names. I'm not putting timestamps. All the I tried to put this information also in X, but I only put Netflix and Square today. It's Sunday and I'm a little bit tired, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I got 16 names. Hopefully this is helpful. Leave a like, subscribe, comment if you want to discuss any of these names, and other than that, take care. Bye bye.